start with the draft. How was the draft experience for you?
It was, the whole process was it was a long process, just a whole bunch of emotions, just training, the draft, the combine, all that stuff was just a roller coaster of emotions. There's a lot of, hard work, but I mean, it was a blessing at the end of the day. Not everybody gets to go through that process. And I mean, I didn't even think I was going to go through that process coming out of high school. So, I took it one day at a time and just tried to, put my best foot forward. And then the draft itself, I was blessed enough just to get picked by Cleveland in the 5th round. So, all I need is really an opportunity to, showcase what I can do. So I'm going to try to take full advantage of it.
Were you kind of on the edge of your seat when you're watching the draft, or did you kind of know where you might be going if you win at all?
Yeah, I mean, just was on the edge of my seat, before the whole thing. You kind of have an idea of what teams kind of fit you, what teams showed the most interest. But what I've learned to realize that it really doesn't matter. Like that doesn't really mean anything. You never know what could happen. And I mean, Cleveland was even one of those teams like during this whole process, I didn't think we're, high on me or even thinking about drafting me or drafting a center at that. So when they called, I kind of was surprised. I was like, wow. I mean, I didn't think they were, interested in taking a center, let alone me. So I mean, definitely fortunate enough that they did, to take a chance on me and, give an opportunity.
Did you tell your friends and family, don't call me on the draft because it could be, like you had to have the line open or whatever it was?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was weary about it. I kept getting like notifications for other stuff, but I kept thinking it was my phone ringing. But no, it was just like email notification stuff. But it was just like nerve wracking because for some reason, when you're expecting a certain call, all of a sudden your phone just keeps buzzing and buzzing. But I'm like I just shut it off and on silent. And then like as the rounds started coming on, I would turn the noise on. When the pick happened, I was like, wow, like I'm actually like that actually happened, like, but like I kind of tell everyone like all the work I've put in and all the the things I've had to sacrifice just to get to this point and all the obstacles I've had to overcome and all the doubt and all that stuff, like, that stuff just motivated me to be at this position. So I wouldn't say like I thought it was a dream or like I didn't think it was like luck or anything. Like I felt as if I deserve to be at this point just from all the stuff that I've done to reach to this point. And now that it's happened, I want to take it even further. I want to just build upon it and just build on my story. So this isn't just, the end of it. I want to keep growing and, try to, eventually try to be a staple center in the National Football League. And, but it starts, one day at a time, just trying to get better at the best way I can right now.
Well, listen, make no mistake, man, you earned it. I mean, you went from, a guard to a center, and the way you kind of just took over that position. Did you feel like being a center would be your best bet to get to the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because obviously the height thing, centers are usually shorter. But I don't know. I think the position just fits my personality the best. I'm a kind of outgoing guy. I always I'm real energetic out in the field and stuff, and people just naturally kind of gravitate towards me. So I think that position kind of fits my personality the best. And my play style, just being able to move the way I can. And, definitely when I moved from guard to center, it was a pretty seamless transition. So yeah, definitely, I think center gave me the best shot to play at this next level. But I mean, there's not to say that I can't play guard because, I enjoy playing guard just as much. I mean, I enjoy just being on the field pretty much. So if you put me anywhere, I'll play, but or at least try my hardest. But, definitely center for sure gave me the best shot.
A lot of the centers have a little bit of a nasty streak to them. You probably know that.
Definitely, I have a switch. I try to turn it off when I'm off the field. I don't want to be just an angry person all the time. That's not me off the field, but on the field, I turn it on and I try to get after people. And try to win the psychological game of it.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit of it, especially all day long in the trenches. I mean, you got to find ways to get an edge. But reading up on you and the fact that Pat Harlow said that he's the ultimate trash talker, but he sees a lot of that in you too. Do you talk a lot of trash when you're out there?
I do. Yeah. I mean, it's part of my game. I just I don't know. I think if you get into the guy across from your head enough, and you take them out of your game just by verbally attacking them, I think it gives you a one up in actually playing the physical part of it. So I try when it's necessary. I don't do it all the time. But I mean, it's football. Everybody has something to say at some point. So I do my fair share of it when it's granted.
How about well, it's now that we're on the topic, you get asked this a lot because I've seen a lot of your interviews. And I told myself maybe I wouldn't ask it, but now that we're on the subject of trash talking, what kind of stuff was going on in the Arizona State game that made that you did your little viral dance and what was going on with you and George that day?
I mean, nothing really. I mean, we were just kind of going back and forth in the game, and there was a play earlier in the game where the play was over, and he kind of shoved me over the pile late, and obviously, you don't want to react late because then you'll get the flag. It's always the second guy that gets the penalty. So I played it cool. And then I kept egging him on, kept saying stuff. And then when that happened, I knew I had him. I knew I was in his head because he wasn't even worried about the snap. He was just worried about messing me up. So I knew when he jumped off sides, I got in his head enough. And, I just kind of – it was just a reaction. I mean, I didn't plan it. Everybody thinks I planned to do that. But, it's just me having fun on the field. And, it was just my personality came out at that time.
You have so much more to your game. You got the low center of gravity, but you have tremendous balance, great footwork. To what do you credit the footwork and all those other intangibles you have as a center?
Honestly, I mean, I think it's just part of it's just natural. I mean, I think I just was blessed enough to have, the athletic ability at that position and be able to move my feet the way I do. But I mean, also a lot of it comes from the coaching I've got from, being at Washington and being in high school. I've had three great coaches with Coach Harlow, Coach Strasser, and Coach Huff that, I've always teach me little tools of trade, play center position, because there's always a lot of techniques you can always learn to give you an advantage out there. So, I mean, it's definitely – just the technician thing. You just having a lot of tools in your bag to execute certain blocks against certain people is really what it is. And then I would just say the footwork part of it, just how my feet move, my foot speed. It's just kind of, honestly, I want to say it's just natural. I don't do a whole lot of drills to try and get it. I don't do a bunch of ladder and cone drills. I mean, it just kind of it just has always been a part of me. I think it probably comes from just playing other positions growing up, being able to move your feet like that. So I would say it was between those things.
Okay, well, wait a minute now. I know how much you love music, and I see how much you dance at practice and all these other things. Now, some of it has to be attributed to the way your dance moves and keeping that sharp, right?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. You got to have some rhythm. I have a little bit of rhythm. I love music. I love, just, being me out there. So it definitely kind of probably plays a part.
I think if I talked to anybody in your family, they probably would say that, huh?
Yeah, they would say that. I'm always messing around.
Do you do anything as far as when it comes to your workouts and your exercises? I mean, you can pump iron and all that, but do you do yoga or any other kind of exercises to kind of help you with your balance, or is that a natural gift too?
I mean, again, I think it's just something natural. I don't really try and do. I've dabbled in doing yoga during training for the combine, and I did a little bit in college, but I didn't do it enough for there to be benefits. It's kind of just natural. I definitely have been trying to lock in, especially these last year and a half. I would say just my core strength, because just playing O-line, your core strength is a lot, being able to, torque guys and just having that this is like everything is your power pack is what a lot of guys call it. So just trying to strengthen that up and make sure I have like a stable core. Is definitely something I've been trying to get better as the years have gone by.
Have the Browns done any kind of virtual workouts with you? I mean, you guys have Zoom meetings and things like that. So there's personnel and there's like almost like classwork, I would imagine. But can you do anything with those guys that involves working out and routines or anything?
Well, yeah, they've given us a routine. They've given us, a whole program. Basically, our days are mapped out, what we need to do, what lifts we need to do. So when it comes to that, I send them, like the last set of all my lifts and just send them to them, and then they critique it if they have any issues with my form or something like that. But that's pretty much how it is. So we just pretty much film our last set. We don't have to film the whole thing. And then we film some positional stuff, and I send it to the coaches so they can also critique it, just because, that's all we can really do right now.
Some people say that you're a real good fit for Stefanski's offense, and even though it's way too early to tell, from what you've studied and what you've seen, do you kind of agree that this is a good landing place for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's exactly what I wanted coming out. When you're going through this whole process, particularly for me at least, the whole time I just wanted to land in a spot that that would use my skill set, the way I play the position, the best way, so that I can maximize my talent out on the field. So if I went to a team that just has me trying to maul people, that's not my game. So my game is running and trying to win with leverage and win with angles, and trying to use my speed and my athleticism. I think it matches up perfectly with what we've had installed here and what they've kind of drilled me. And then with Coach Callahan, the O-line coach here, he's huge on technique. He's a big technician coach, and he's already instilling all these techniques, and we have to film it and send it to him, and he wants to critique it. So I definitely think this is like the most ideal landing spot for me with this offense, because it is exactly what will maximize how I play the position for sure.
How about as far as some of the guys on the team? Your quarterback and your receivers and your running backs. This team has some stars.
Yeah, I know it's definitely promising. I'm upset that we haven't really got together and meet in person, and I can kind of introduce myself. And but yeah, there's definitely some talent on this team, and it's definitely promising what we can do. So I'm just excited to try to get out there and just get to work and learn from all these guys. And try and just establish myself and just play my role on the team. Make the team obviously initially, and just play my role and do what I can to help the team win. And it's definitely promising though.
How about as far as an offensive lineman, Nick? It seems like you guys always love to run block rather than pass block. Is that true, and why?
Yeah, that it's definitely true. Run blocking it's just more fun. You're kind of on the attack. You're on the aggressive side of things, where you can go and get a guy instead of kind of being on the passive side of allowing him to rush. It's just more fun. Run blocking is just more fun. You can kind of come off the ball. It's kind of meathead-ish, but it is what it is. Every O-line, I bet if you ask 100 O-line that question, every single one of them would say they'd rather run block. But not to say pass blocking isn't fun. I like pass blocking. It's fun, but I'd rather run block for sure.
Okay, so because I never played the position, and when you say it's meatheadish, like what is it?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
It's just like typical, just meathead banging like each other, just trying to bash somebody else's like skull in, like coming off the ball, just trying to knock somebody on their back. So that's what I meant by like it's just real meathead. It's just we just want to come off the ball and just murder people. So like, we'd rather do that than, sit back and, react to somebody instead of, being on the attack. So
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
that's interesting. Yeah, that's good insight, man. Because
Yeah.
you got to do everything, but you've blocked for some really good running backs. At your time at UW, so it's probably rewarding when you see your running back blow by you and you helped open that hole.
Oh man, that's the best part. That's the best part. Obviously we can't score touchdowns, so if we did our part as an O line and the running back has 200 yards that day and 3 touchdowns, I mean that it feels like we had 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. So that's the best part, and there's a sense of pride with the guys. When you have when you play a great game together as a unit. You just feel good, and the vibe in the room is just good that next day after the game and then going into the next week. So definitely our running backs performance is definitely something that we take a lot of pride in.
All right, so you talk about big games and good games and fun games, and it seems like the Apple Cup was always a fun game for you.
Yeah.
But the shirt, "We don't lose to Cougs," underneath your jersey on the last one, where did that come from?
Honestly, it was. I knew we weren't gonna lose going into it because we don't lose to them. So it was just a statement that I felt needed to be said, and it was just how I feel. And this was my last one, so I wanted to end it on a good note. I wanted to be undefeated against Wazoo, and I had to put a little stamp on it on the 5-6 seal of approval before I leave. So that's what I did for it.
Did you wake up that day and say, I'm putting this on a T-shirt, or did you think about it? How premeditated was it, Nick?
It was pretty premeditated. I did it. I made the shirt like 2 days before the game, so I knew I was going to do it. It's not like it was last minute. I knew I was going to do it, but I just wanted to make sure nobody saw it. I did it, and then I put a shirt over it for warm-ups, and I wore a shirt over it in the game. So I had 2 shirts on the whole game. So I didn't want anybody to see it. So definitely premeditated.
Well, it was a big reveal, though, even to your teammates afterward. Did they not know you had it on?
Yeah, nobody knew I had it on. Nobody knew I had it
on. So I would imagine that's one of your best moments at Washington, huh? Was there a game that stood out to you that's real memorable?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Apple Cup, my junior year, when we played in Pullman, when it started snowing, I would say that probably was my favorite life memory so far. I'm gonna be honest. Obviously I don't have kids, I haven't gotten married, so that honestly probably was the best memory of my life so far. That game was so fun. The way we went out in the game, just that long 8-minute drive where we just literally ran the same 3 plays over and over and over again, and they just couldn't stop it. And then we got all the way down there, and then we took a knee. It was the best feeling ever. And just that game was super fun, and that was definitely one of the greatest memories I had at Washington, and just the way everybody just playing in the snow after the game, and a lot of guys never even seen snow before, so it was just a fun experience for sure.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Obviously, it was just listening to you explain it. Just a couple more for you, man. What kind of a coach was Chris Petersen? He seems to have an awful lot of respect from his players and former players.
Yeah, I mean, he's the ultimate players coach. I mean, you end up having a relationship with him, and that's one of his goals, to have a personal relationship with every guy on the team. And you can tell just how he carried himself. His office door was always open. Anybody could just walk in there and talk to him. He's just caring. He meant a lot to everybody there. just from how he was as a man and how he carried himself. Everybody tried to be, that was our example. And just as a coach, I mean, you could just tell he knew what he was doing. He loved the game, and he tried to instill that in us every time he can. And he just instilled a lot of life lessons on us that I still, I carry with me every day. I think about when I'm just doing little daily tasks. I just think about little tidbits that Coach Pete would always say. He means a lot to me because he for sure, I mean, he gave me the only Division I opportunity I had coming out of high school. So if it wasn't for him, I don't know what I'd be doing or where I would be right now. So, I mean, I owe a lot to him for just, seeing what he saw in me. So definitely he means a lot to me for sure.
Yeah, I see some other coaches that say the same thing about you though too, man. Like the fact that they took a chance on you and they're really glad they did.
Yeah, man. I mean, it all just started with Coach Pete giving me the chance, though, obviously, because he saw something in me that literally no one else did. So, literally no one. And I'm not even saying that figuratively. Like, literally no one else saw it. So, he means a lot to me, and he meant a lot to all the guys that were there for sure.
Do you watch? I know. Are you kind of a student of the game when it comes to football film? You watch a lot of film.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I've been doing. I don't play video games. I'm not a big video game guy. I never have been. I don't really like watching TV. I just think it's like you don't really get much out of it. So I just sit with this iPad and watch games over and over and over, and just watch different guys that I can play like and try and play like, and I take notes on it and stuff. So yeah, I would say I'm a student of the game, and I mean, I enjoy it though. It's not like it's a chore or a task or, like, damn, I got to go do this. Like, it's like, this is like fun. Like, I just get to watch football all day. Like, what? That's how I envision like my life after playing football. So I want to do something where like, I get to talk about football. Like, what? Like, that's all I get to do. So.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's definitely something I look forward to.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, man.
No, I was just saying, no, it's definitely something I love doing. I love watching football. I mean, especially offensive line play, because there's just so many little small nuances that everybody else doesn't see. But, like, when I'm watching a game, it's like I'm looking at the O-line like, damn, that was a hell of a block by everybody celebrating the touchdown. I'm like, damn, that was crazy what that center just did. Like, nobody else cares.
It's true, dude. I mean, you say that.
I know.
But it's like – as a guy who I'm a football fan, but man, sometimes doing stories on offensive linemen is tough because you don't have real good video and you got to isolate the guy you're talking about, and it's tough but you see it way differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the beauty of the position, man. I mean, it's just like there's so many little things that I just watch. I'm just like amazed by how some of these dudes, do it, and it's just fun learning it, and trying to put it into your game and trying to apply it to how you play. So, I love watching film. I love breaking it down and doing what I have to do to, elevate my game, basically.
Yeah. Well, Browns are going to love to hear that, man. The fact that you're just such a student of the game and you're always looking to get better, and it'll be fun to see you progress in the NFL for sure.
I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah. How's the agent life? Are you and being a pro now? Is that all coming together for you? Was it a little too fast at first, or is it all slowing down for you?
No, I'm gonna be honest. No, it's fast. Like, it's like everything's like money all of a sudden. I'm like, okay. At first, I was just trying to figure out where I was gonna eat the next meal. Now it's like, now you got a budget. Like, now you got to do all this stuff and taxes and all that. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I don't even know how this stuff works. But like, I'm learning as I go, and we got a lot of people around us in Cleveland that they've connected us with, and a lot of people that I've connected with that are definitely helping me and teaching me things that I need to instill, just trying to take the next level with all this stuff. So,
and they tell you there's so much preaching going on now about you young guys, and you get that money, all of a sudden you got to be really smart about it, and sounds like
right.
you're getting that lesson right away.
Oh yeah, right away. I mean, I never really believed, like, a lot of guys say, like, that dollar you see that they're going to give you is not what you're gonna get. And I was like, no, yeah, like what are you talking about? But like I understand now, like that money you see in your bank account is like that is not what you have. Like it is not what you have, and it's not what you should think you have. So it's like you just gotta be responsible with it, and live within your means, even live under your means. I mean, that's how I try to apply it. So you just gotta be smart with it and make sure you have some people in your corner that are trustworthy that can give you the best advantage to progress your life after football's over.
Yeah.
So I've definitely I think I have good people in my corner to help me, and I'm taking that stuff serious because I think it's important. So definitely something I take as serious as playing football.
Yeah. It sounds like you got some good people around you for sure.
Trying.
Hey, one last question: do you see yourself being, as much as I talk to you, see your personality and the fact how much you really, really love football, you see yourself being in the broadcast booth one day, maybe being an analyst?
I would 1,000% love to do that. That is what I want to do. That is literally what I want to do. I mean, I always, going through like college and stuff, I always like, damn, what am I going to do after football? Like you always think about it and it's like kind of just goes away. But, as I've, progressed and matured and stuff, I really want to stay around football because it's something I truly love. And, if that means getting in front of a camera and talking about it, sure. Like that doesn't affect me. Like I don't care. So, I mean, it's definitely something I 100% want to get into eventually. So, definitely want to keep that window open, when I get there.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, judging from what I've heard, you're on a good track for that, man. It's waiting for you at the end of your career. I guarantee.
I'm trying. I can't. I want to see. I want to see if I can do it, and it's definitely something I keep in the back of my mind. But a lot of people say that. A lot of people like you should just just talk in front of the camera. Like I was like, sure, I might as well. Not that. I mean, obviously it's hard, but everything is hard. Everything you get into, but I think it's something I would really enjoy because I love talking about sports. So.
Well, man,
definitely a passion of mine.
It's fun listening to you too, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, thanks a lot, Nick, and good luck as you get going, man.
No problem. I appreciate it.